Today we go to the heart illness by TCI. Yeah, by TCI. So in this part, we're talking about the two illness. One illness we say sweating. Sweating illness belong to TCM heart. Do you remember in our foundation, we say we have 5 different kind of body fluid. Heart control sweating. Another illness is kind of bleeding disorder. So still heart control the blood vessels. Blood vessel have some disorder, then may cause the bleeding. So that's in this part, we're talking about the two illnesses. The first illness we're talking about the sweating. Sweating in Chinese name is Han. Han is sweating. Zheng is syndrome. So that's we're talking about Hanzheng. So people have actual sweating, abnormal sweating kind of disorder. It's not we're talking about normal sweating situation. Like everybody after exercises will be sweating a lot. Or maybe in the summertime, the weather is so hot, everybody normally sweating. So that's normal sweating. Now we're talking about here belong to abnormal sweating, not belong to normal sweating. So let's see, what is sweating syndrome? 汗症, 汗症. So sweating syndrome, so that's basically we're talking about excessive sweating. Means people sweating too much. Or maybe profound sweating. Still big amount sweating. And could be like all over the body. Some people sweating like all over the body. That we call generalized. Or maybe just local. Or maybe just a special part of the body. So people specially sweating from the hand. You can see the sweating like the water dripping down from the hand. So now we're talking about especially happens in the children. Truly some adults still possible have sweating syndrome. But now we're talking about the children problems. So for children problems, usually happens under 5 years old. So that's basically the symptoms. People get abnormal sweating, maybe all over the body, maybe in the special part of the body. So in modern medicine, sweating problems belong to nervous system problems. We say TCM belong to heart, West medicine belong to nervous system, especially automatic nervous system. Automatic nervous system control the sweating gland. So that's losing some function there. So that's cause the people abnormal sweating. That's maybe lot of reasons can cause. Kind of genetic reasons, or people getting sick for long term, or maybe some other illness. So that's generally we're talking about sweating syndrome. Now we're talking about etiology and pathology by TCM aspected. So we say sweating is the fluid belong to heart in TCM. So that sweating is transformed by the body fluid. And with yang qi stimulate, then the people will be sweating. So that's why people normally sweating. So like people have more heat inside, people sweating more. No heat, people will not sweat. That's normal function. But generally, the process of sweating, that's kind of balance of yin and yang. So we have yang aspected, we need a stimulate and like the body fluid, evaporations and then cause sweating. But if patients don't have too much fluid, people still not sweating. So we say that's normal condition, yin yang balance. People have normal sweating. But if yin yang imbalanced, not imbalanced, so in that kind of condition, it's not imbalanced. So in that kind of condition, people will have abnormal sweating. So that generally happens. So basically, sweating is the situation, relationship with yin and yang, relationship with zang and generate blood inside the body. In some degree, that is harmless or maybe dysfunctional. And especially for weight. So weight control open and close the pores. Weight losing function. So people will be have abnormal sweating. So that's generally for TCM, we're thinking about sweating disorder relationship with yin yang functions and especially weight functions. So let's go to different pattern and then discuss. The first pattern we're talking about weight. So long weight, this means weight here. So weight mainly controlled by the lung, or maybe we can say it's a part of the lung. So when we're talking about foundation, we say weight circulation in the superficial of the body. For 胃气 weaker, people easily got EPI. So that's just one aspect. It's one aspect. Another aspect right now we're talking about the weight deficiency. can cause people abnormal sweating. That means internally body fluid linking out from the superficial of the body. EPI is passenger evading internally. Sweating is internally body fluid relieved from the superficial. So that's like a two-way disorder. Pretty similar like we're talking about the door. A door in there, like old school door in there. You can go in, yeah, you can go in through the door, and the people can go out through the door. So that's both functions is weighted functions. Like some people, especially security for the door, they only allow students go in. They couldn't, they are not allowed other people to go in. That's normal condition. But if losing function, we talk about insecurity. Everybody go in. Students go in, that's no trouble. But some vitamin go in, that may be cause problem. And also we're holding everything inside our school. If you keep the door open, something maybe like running out. We are not thinking about students running out. Maybe like whatever we think about. Maybe it's not school. Just in some special like Zoom, some animal in there. If you are not locked the door, all the animals will be run out. So that's basically the weighted function. So the symptoms, key symptoms, spontaneous sweating. They can sweating everywhere, on the head, on the shoulders, and on the back. Mainly symptoms, spontaneous sweating. And all the sweating problems will be worse when people do some movement, even walking, running, exercises. So any kind of movement make the sweating worse, severe kind of sweating. And the other problems, we say generally deficiency problem. So long way, that's the key part. So generally qi deficiency symptoms. So fatigue, fatigue. And generally weak. And people tired. And pale face. No luster. Like a pretty dull face. And sensitivity to the cold. That's especially is kind of weight deficiency symptom. The tongue is pale tongue. Qi deficiency can cause pale tongue. And white coating. The pulse, deficiency pulse, serrated, belong to deficiency pulse. Weaker pulse, still deficiency pulse. Not faster, the rate will be normal. But you feel the pulse, it is deficiency. Then treatment principle. So treatment principle basically follow the pattern. We're talking about the qi deficiency and the wei qi deficiency especially. So that we need to tonify qi and consolidate wei qi. External here means superficial of the body. The same meaning of consolidate wei qi, defending qi. So that's this pattern. The acupuncture points, LF4, thus we know that's especially like when we got common cold to relieve external syndromes. In other words, it's working for the superficial of the body. And the kidney 7, we talking about these points before. 浮流, 浮 means double here. 流 means water here. Double water. What means double water? Sweating problem. Yes, sweating problem. So kidney 7 can treat any kind of sweating problem, including spontaneous sweating, including night sweating. So that's a pretty good point. Then we go to bladder 13. Bladder 13 is the spectrum of the lung. So wei qi belong to lung qi. Wei qi deficiency means lung qi deficiency. So we need to tonify it. And the 214 here still relieve external. And truly, sometimes people have like abdominal sweating, maybe have some internal heat also. So 214 also can clear heat, but mainly here relieve external. And the lung 7, lower connective points of the lung, still mainly relieve external. And the stomach 36, generally qi tonified. Any kind of qi deficiency, that's a perfect point to tonify. So we're reducing LF4, reducing LF4. And we can tonify kidney 7. So that's basically we try to stop sweating there. Or maybe we can massage. We say deficiency kind of problem. Massage is more tonified. We're talking about the qi deficiency here. So massage more stronger tonified compared with needle. So we can massage, yeah. So that's basically treat sweating. So that's for this kind of condition. And we say needle each of the points 2 to 3 minutes, or like manipulations, manipulations. Or maybe you can keep the needles later, keep to 20 minutes. But still depending the case, still depending the, like how children, they can keep the needle there. So basically, For children, for children's kids problems, generally say, usually I will not rotation the needle. I may just manipulate the needles about 2 to 3 minutes and then we stop the needle. Because for children, it's pretty hard to like the needle keep in there. Still depending how big of the children. So if 10 ages, still okay. But if 3, 4 years old, their body so young, their body so much young in there, they always try to move it. It's pretty hard you keep 20 minutes. Even you like them lay down there 20 minutes, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. So basically, we can just put the needle in, manipulation the needles 20, 30 minutes, and then we start. But truly, some children pretty quiet, pretty quiet, and let it be like 10 ages. You can truly can keep the needles about 20 minutes. And we treat every day, continually 7 times as a sections, and then get a patient break 3 to 5 days. Then we can start another section to see what's the result is. So that's basically for this pattern. Next pattern, we're talking about yin and wei disharmony. What means yin? What means wei? Wei we know already. So still go back on foundation. We're talking about qi. Qi originally coming from air qi, 空气 and food qi, 骨气 and then meeting with our yuan qi together. Then go to the chest area, which we talking about the 中气. Then from there, the yang part of the qi we call wei qi. Yin part of the qi we call yin qi. Still belong qi, still belong qi. Then we say wei qi circulations in the superficial of the body or outside of the vessel. Outside of the vessel. And the yin qi circulation inside of the vessel. So inside the vessel, that's the part pushing blood circulation. We say qi pushing blood circulation. So that's yin qi mainly function, pushing blood circulation. So that's yin wei. Yeah, that's yin wei. So wei qi protected outside, and the yin qi go to inside blood vessel, pushing blood circulation. They will be harmonized. But if they are not harmonized, we're still talking about wei qi outside the vessels here, yin qi inside the vessels here. If they are not harmonized, yin qi may be pushing more fluid to go outside. Normal condition, wei qi defending qi will stop it. Still keep it inside the vessel circulation. but now which is deficiency. So more sweating coming out. So thus we talking about yin and wei disharmony. So this kind of condition, especially if you later on go to herb study and then the classic class, we talking about the 伤寒论. We have a special formula for this kind of condition. We talking about harmonized yin and wei. So that formula we use 桂枝汤. So that's for the herb study. Yeah, it's more severe. Yeah, it's more severe. But just compare with Wei Qi deficiency, it's more severe. Truly, we have some other pattern, even more severe than this condition. But compare with only Wei Qi deficiency condition, it's a little bit more severe. So the symptoms, yeah, key symptoms, still spontaneous sweating. That's the mainly symptom. And possible with night sweating. And generally say the sweat coming out is a cold feeling in there. It's kind of cold sweating. Mainly like all over the body. And the patient aversion to cold and the wind, but no fever. If patient aversion to cold and wind with fever, that's usually we thinking about EPI condition. But right now, people aversion to wind and cold, but no fever. That's basically it's kind of yang difference. Yang part including qi part, so mental fatigue and poor appetite, and we possible have some other qi different symptoms. So looking for the tongue, basically tongue is normal there. Tongue body let it be red, still normal. Thin white coating still normal. The pulse moderate, still kind of normal there. Not that severe kind of deficiency. So pulse look like still normal there. So this kind of condition we talking about, especially harmonize yin and wei. So basically we say if we go to herb treatment, we have a special formula for it. But for acupuncture, we can use pretty similar, like regulating there, like externally and internally kind of regulating there. So basically, we still can use L4, L4 like regulating, especially stronger defending T there. Still can combination with Long 7, Yuan South points with lower connecting points connections regulating there. And then we still can use Kidney 7 for sweating problem. We say double regulating water. Stop abdominal sweating. 无流. Then we go to some points like heart tonified. Sweating is the fluid of the heart. And also bladder 20, that's backshore of the sleep. Certainly, you still can go to bladder 13, backshore of the lung, to tonify. Mainly to tonify. That's basically. And LI11 for the condition, people may have some heat in there. And do 14 relieve external and also can clear some heat. So still put the points, manipulations, you can take it withdraw it immediately after manipulations. Or maybe you can keep about 20 minutes. And still treat every day and 7 days as our treatment sections. And then stop 3 to 5 days. Then start another section again. So that's for this pattern, yin and wei disharmony. Then we go to the pattern, we say qi and yin both deficiency. So basically, first two patterns mainly is qi deficiency. One is wei qi deficiency, one is yin wei disharmony. But truly, mainly is qi deficiency in there. This pattern is both qi and yin deficiency. So that will be little bit more severe compared with only qi deficiency. So yin deficiency causes sweating, mainly on the night sweating, big amount. That's the mainly symptom. And certainly they may have spontaneous sweating also. That kind of qi couldn't hold in like the pulse, and then cause spontaneous sweating. And generally body weaker, emaciation, and yin deficiency can cause some deficiency heat inside. So that's cause the problems with the irritability. So that's the patient have irritability. And also maybe cause insomnia. Heat attacking upper jaw, attacking the heart, especially sweating problems, relationship with the heart. Or maybe patient have low fever and dry mouth, biocentral heat feeling on the palms and the shoulders and the chest. That's biocentral heat. And the children, they small children, young children, they couldn't tell you like what happens there. They just feel uncomfortable there. Then they just cry there. But that kind of cry is kind of weaker kind of cry. It's not like a big amount, bigger sound there. It's pretty weaker kind of cry there. So that's basically the basic kind of crying. And tongue usually is pale. It's more severe qi deficiency. But possible let be red is more yin deficiency. So even tongue pale color in there, generally say no coating there. So that's still in degrees. And rapid threaded pulse. Threaded is decreased pulse. Rapid pulse is coming from decreased heat. So treatment principle, certainly we need tonified tea and nourishing yin because that's both tea and yin deficiency. And stop sweating. That's the main problem. Then the points, let's see. We leave a kernel, we still use I4 here. And the kidney 7 still regular water. Then 6, C of the T high. Mainly for T tonified. Kidney 3. And heart 6. And kidney 6. In tonified. Kidney 6, everybody know that's in tonified points there. High is the C. High is the C. Lot of water there. So that's truly in tonified. Heart 6. In C. Yes. C collapse points of the heart in C. Especially heart in tonified. And kidney 3, that's basically in tonified. Water organ and the yuan south points of the kidney. So that's still in tonified. Stomach 36, yeah, still stronger T tonified. So that's for this pattern. When we're talking about pattern, damp heat, steaming the body. So generally say is the heat and the damp is combination pattern. So the symptoms still mainly spontaneous sweating, or maybe with night sweating. So still sweating problems. And can happen on other part, any part of the body. Can happen on the head, or may happen on the limbs. And the skin is hard to touch because some heat pattern means have some abnormal kind of water retention in there, abnormal kind of water in there. And the heat will stimulate. So heat stimulates the water. And then like a heat will be try to go outside, but the dam is blocking there. So generate more heat there. So that's cause more hot skin there. And the sweating can have yellow color. Like when you're changing the clothes for the children, you can see some stains in some part of the cloth there, like the underwear. You can see some yellow color there. and bad smell coming from the breathing. That's because some heat inside. And the children thirsty, but without dessert to drink. So thirsty coming from heat. Don't want to drink. Yeah. Anytime in TTM we talking about the drink. We talking about the drink water. Don't confuse it. It's not drinking alcohol, especially for children. But generally speaking, even for adults, for TTM, when we talking about the drink, we talking about drink water. Don't want to drink because internally some dampness in there. High water retention already, even they thirsty. They may drink a small amount each time. And the dark yellow urination, internal heat. Tongue is right tongue. And the greasy yellow coating. Greasy coming from dampness. Yellow coming from heat. And the sleepy rapid pulse. Sleepy coming from dampness. And the rapid coming from heat. So that's the pattern combination. Damp heat pattern. Treatment principle, yeah, clear heat, dry dampness. So basically dampness or phlegm retention is the spleen losing function. Yeah, spleen T and T not working. So we're talking about the drained spleen here. General idea, we try to tonify spleen and drain the dampness. It's not like a drained spleen, but truly help with improved spleen function. So the points, we still use LI4 and T7 we talked about already. And LI11 truly is clear heat point, especially for internal heat. Any kind of internal heat, we can use LI11. And spin9 for the dummy. Yeah, for the dummy. LI11 mainly for the heat. Yeah, mainly for the heat. Spin9 for the dummies and the stomach 40, basically. We can use for dummies also. LI11, we need a combination with other points, then working for dummies. It's not the point itself working for the dummy. And the bladder 40, clear heat, bladder 40, clear heat. And the Sanjiao 5, Sanjiao 5, basically working for external condition, yeah, similar like LFO. So that's basically we use for this kind of condition. That's the pattern damp heat. So that's basically for this illness and it's a pattern. So preventing, yeah, preventing. So preventing basically we just try to make the children's bodies constitution is a little bit stronger. It must be some abnormal disharmonies inside the body. when they have abdominal sweating. So that's basically we encouraging some like physical activity and physical exercises. Basically make the 正气 strong, especially defending 气 or 胃气 strong. So that's basically 胃气 strong. People will not like abnormal kind of sweating. And certainly we especially be careful. These kind of patients, if they have abnormal sweating, it in some way means it's 胃气 deficiency. So that's basically 胃气 deficiency, the pores will be open. When pores is open, EPI passenger wind will easily evade it. And we know the wind most of the time, it is not just coming evading by itself. They may come in or carry with other passengers, like wind heat, or maybe wind cold condition. That's the most case. Certainly, sometimes they may carry wind damage. So these kind of patients, we need to especially take care. So especially people just getting sick or illness, try not directly like exposure to the wind. Like in the winter day, don't carry the children go outside, windy day. And also normally put more clothes to cover for the children. So that's especially like just getting some sick or illness, just recover time. So that's we need more be careful because children's weight deficiency is pretty easily got another like illness attacking. And also for the children, they have some regular vaccine. So got some regular vaccine preventing some illness. So generally say for the children, we have a lot of vaccine. We can preventing some like illness. And also, if the children get some illness, treated immediately. Don't we say children's problems happens faster and development faster and changing faster. So don't wait. Yeah, don't wait. It's not like for the adults. Adults sometimes they think about small illness, mental illness is not that severe kind of disorder. Maybe tomorrow, maybe recover. But for the children, yeah, they are illness. Like in this morning, it look like a healthy boy or girl, but in the afternoon, lay down on the bed, don't like to play, don't like to move, and maybe in the middle of the night, they will got a very, very high fever. And like last class, we say, children got high fever, they may cause convulsion. So that's basically children's problem. It happens pretty fast, pretty fast. So if they got illness, immediately treat. Don't wait the time. Then we talking about the nursing care. Nursing care. So nursing care, that's just generally, keep the hygiene. We're talking about people have sweating problems. Their deficiency will be different degree, kind of weaker. So that means hydration is more important for the children, for these kind of patients. We know our body have immunity systems, but generally our skin is the naturally first line protected of our body. But when people have VT deficiency, their pores will be open. If the skin is not clear, the passenger will be easily irritated. So always keep the skin clear for these kind of patients. And put the clothes or changing the clothes according to the weather changing, suitable clothes in there, preventing wind evading, and keep like away from other children when they're getting sick. So that's kind of way protection. And always keep the skin clean and dry. So basically, damaged air, like a damp air, moist air, is more easily for the bacteria or pathogen growth. But a dry place is limited the bacteria or virus growth. So basically, we know in our superficial of the skin, it's normally we have normal flora. That kind of balance, like a different kind of bacteria and including some fungi, they keep the balance. Normally, they will not cause the people sick, even some passenger on the superficial of the skin. But for the children, their VT deficiency already, and then their skin too moist in there. That usually not cause the sick or illness kind of bacteria. It's overgrowing here, but they still can cause people sick. So that's keep it dry. People have sweating problems, and we immediately wipe it out. Yeah, wipe it out. But be careful with soft towels or gauze. So that must be clear. It must be clear right to wiping out. So that's basically this kind of patient. We need specially take care of the skin hygiene. And for patient, yeah, for children, especially with teeth damage, fluid consumed, because we're talking about people have big sweating right now. So that's basically the body fluid will be losing from the sweating. And follow the body fluid losing, and the tea will be losing also. I think we're talking about the condition before, like people vomiting. We say excessive condition if people vomiting. After vomiting, symptoms reduce, like abdominal painful eating. But deficiency kind of condition after vomiting, people's symptoms worse. And the people feel tired. That's because the qi following whatever they vomiting out, they will go out. And the same thing for bowel movement. Deficiency condition after bowel movement, all the symptoms worse, and the people more tired. That's still some qi follow the stool coming out. Now it's sweating. Yes, still same idea. Losing fluid part, also losing qi part. So kind of yin and yang always coming together. So in this kind of condition, we need a tonified qi, especially got enough water to supply. Otherwise, maybe children will be kind of dehydrated. So that's basically give the enough water, better warm water, better warm water. At least the body temperature kind of water, not ice water. Ice water is more damage and bring cold inside. And certainly give some nutrition food. So give patient more nutrition and easy digested food. So basically, when we talking about easily digested food, if the children truly eating some food already, like some eggs, yeah, a lot of protein inside, and some rice candy, that's easy digestion. Generally say if eating some meat, fish, fish is easy digestion. Tofu is good protein. So that's basically easy digestion. Other meat is not that easy digestion. And also not give the children greasy food. Greasy food is not good. Yeah. And the pungent food is not good. So basically it's like cooking little bit longer time and that's easily digested. Especially must be give patient enough water. Yeah. In case like always have big amount of sweating there. And also put in the water some salt inside. So because patient sweating always carry solidum go away, ions go away. So put some salt inside. So that's kind of tonify and holding the water in. And also keep the environment for suitable for the children. So that's we're talking about the temperature. Keep the same temperature in the environment, in the room, and the humidity. So in that kind of situation, like the children will not that easily follow like the temperature changing and easily catching cold. So basically keep the environment in some standard or balanced environment in there. So that's basically for this case.